You guys ever came up with a new idea that you want to start? You start telling your friends about it, even do a little bit of research into it. And once it comes to starting and making a hard choice, you just give up and walk away. You just sit there in the back of your mind. Look, we've all been there before. I sure have been myself. I'm going to talk a little bit about some of my past experiences and maybe some relatable experiences you've had yourself as well.
So the first thing I actually tried was drop shipping. I had found a product. It was dog products, by the way. I built the whole site, sorted the photos, the titles, and the pricing. Everything had looked legit. And then when I actually came to launching the product and putting money behind it and start promoting it, I just stopped. I told myself I was in too deep and that it wasn't going to work. And honestly, I just didn't want to risk real money on it, so I left it there and I just moved on. So my next idea was a lot bigger. It was a software as a service platform. SaaS for short, basically. It was something I could actually sell to gyms as I work in a gym, so I have a good idea of how it all works for real money. I built a website and then I hit the exact same wall. The idea was easy. Getting excited about it was easy as well, but actually building a working product was hard, and I didn't even think about that at the start. I was too excited. And because it was hard, I was out again. I quit. It was at this point I started to notice a pattern. The second something stopped being fun in my head and actually became difficult, I just bail out. So then something new came along, and this was a new start for me. It was Stackwell Creative. It was my website lead generation business for trade owners. This was different because I'd actually set myself a goal. I'd set myself a deadline and an outcome that I wanted to achieve. I'd give myself 1 month to actually make proper progress and work on this every single day. And I'd done this to prove to myself that I wasn't messing around and that even if it got hard, I could continue and actually make it to the goal that I wanted to achieve by the end. So, under the important stuff and why I think Stackwell actually became a success compared to all my failures beforehand was that I had enough of messing around and I actually wanted to build something for myself. I wanted not just another failure that I'd abandon in 2 weeks. And I think this one mattered a lot more to me. I wanted to have something I could have credit for, something that I built myself. So the biggest thing I'd recommend is spending 1 to 2 weeks actually researching into the thing that you want to go ahead and do. For me, it was the lead generation business and side hustle business. Research ensures something you will enjoy doing daily, as that is very important. If you're not going to enjoy doing it daily, you're not going to be able to succeed in it. Another very important reason why this became successful compared to my failures was I gave myself a deadline. Not just to finish, but to prove to myself I could actually show up every day. And that was the biggest thing. Me showing up every day led to the success of it, as I was able to get better with each call and improve my script and actually be able to sell once the second month had arrived. And honestly, I think it would definitely work again. If you set a deadline for yourself and a goal that you want to achieve, I think you will achieve it if you actually work on it every day like you plan on and you do the research and you know what you're putting yourself up against. For example, this YouTube channel, I've set myself deadlines and goals that I want to achieve within the next 3 months and that I hope to achieve and I'm going to consistently work on to achieve. So for example, if someone had messaged me right now saying they're in the same situation where they keep starting things and quitting, what I'd actually tell them is first to sit down, get honest about what they want to do, not just start because it sounds fun. Then research it properly before you commit into anything. Once you know it's the right idea, don't just dive in blind. Break it down, plan it out over the next 3 months in small wins and milestones, not just a vague goal sitting in your mind. Then, once you've got it all planned out, I would highly recommend you set real deadlines over the course of them 3 months that you've planned out. Because here's the thing, without a deadline, you're just going to show up whenever you feel like it. Some days you'll push hard and some days you won't. And there's nothing forcing you to close that gap. But when you've got a deadline in place, you work like something's actually on the line. The same reason you don't miss a deadline at school or work, you know what happens if you do. So you make sure you don't. And to be honest, I haven't fully solved this for myself either, but I'd say I'm about 70% better than I used to be. Taking the risk and setting the deadline, actually following through in Stackwell, I learned more from that than I expected to, and it's carried into everything since, including this channel. I'm not saying I figured it all out, I'm just saying I'm working better than I used to, and that's honestly enough to keep going for me. So, if you're in that spot right now, you're starting things and then you're dropping them, and you're feeling like that says something bad about you, it doesn't. It just means you haven't found the right thing yet that's actually worth pushing through the hard part for. That's honestly what the channel is. I'm not here telling you I've got it all figured out, telling you what to do. I'm just documenting it as I go. What's currently working for me, what isn't working for me, and what I'm still stuck on currently. If that's something you're in the middle of too, stick around and we'll figure it out as we go.